Hi students, in this video you are going to see about chapter 12 continuation, SQL commands and their functions. Tables are the only way to store data, therefore all the information has to be arranged in the form of tables. So whenever we are storing data into the database, the data are storing in the form of tables. So that is the only way to store the data. The SQL provides a predetermined set of commands to work on databases. So when we are working into the databases, we have predetermined set of commands. So predetermined set of commands now already that commands are provided by the SQL. So we are just using that commands. So what are the commands now? Keywords, commands, classes and arguments. So keyword means it is a reserved word. It gives a special meaning in SQL. So it is only understood as a instruction. Next one is a commands. So commands means we are giving instructions to the database. So this we can say as a statement also. Next one is a classes. It's begin with a keyword and it consists of a keyword and argument. Next one is the argument. So they are the values given to make the class complete. Next we are going to see about DDL commands, that is data definition language commands. So first we are going to see about the create a table command. So how to create a table in database. You can create a table by using the create table command. So create table is a command. We have to use this command only. We cannot able to change this. So we can say this as a keyword also. When a table is created, its columns are named, data types and sizes are to be specified. So when we are creating a table, we have to name the columns as well as we have to mention the data types and its sizes. Each table must have at least one column. So minimum we need one column in a table. Maximum n number of columns we can keep. The syntax of create table command. So here general syntax they given. First we have to write a created table. After that we have to write the table name. So what table we are going to create, that table name we have to give here. Then open the bracket. Then we have to mention the column name. Then columns, data type and sizes we have to mention. At last close the bracket. Then you have to keep the semicolon in end of the command. Now let us use the above syntax to store some information about the students of your class in a database. For this you first need to create a table. To create a student table, let us take some information related to students like admission number, which we can use it in short form. So we cannot give the admission number, that complete words in a table. It will take a size. It's a very lengthy, that's why we have to short it. How we can short it now? ADMNO. So short form is admission number. So maximum we can avoid the column name as a lengthy name. Maximum we have to give the short name. Next, name of student as a name, then gender, age, etc. of the student. So this only we are going to give in the table column. So here one example they given. The SQL command will be as follows. Create a table. So create a table is a command that we have to give compulsory. Next, student is a table name. So inside this table, so we have to open the bracket. Then we have to give admission number. So admission number is the column name. The data type of admission number is the integer. So that we have to mention here. When we are going to write the next column name, we have to use the comma as a separator. So put comma, then you have to write the next column name. So the next column name is the name. Its a data type is character. So the maximum size is a 20. Next one is a gender. Its a data type is a character. Maximum size is a 1. So either they can type male or female. So F or M. Next one is a age. Its data type is integer. Next one is a place. So place data type is a character. So place we have to mention the maximum number of character is a 10. So at last close the parenthesis. then we have to keep the semicolon. So this is one example commands to create a table. So the above one is a simple table structure without any restrictions. So here we not mention any restrictions, just once we create the table we can enter the data. So we can set the restrictions also. Constraints are used to limit the type of data that can go into the table. So that restrictions only we are saying as a constraints. So this ensures the accuracy and reliability of the data in the database. Constraints could be either on a column level or a table level. So why we are using the constraint? Now we can get the exact data from the user. So for that reason only we are using the constraints. So two level we can use it. One is a column level, another one is a table level. Either one level we can follow. Note, a constraint is a condition applicable on a field or a set of fields. So we can apply for a single field or a set of fields, we can apply a constraint. So here we have different types of constraint. First one is a column constraint. So column constraint apply only to individual column. So column constraint na we apply only one column. ஒரு காலம்க்கு மட்டும் தான் நம்மளால அப்ளை பண்ண முடியும். Next one table constraint. So table constraint na more than one column we can apply the table constraint. Next we are going to see how to apply these constraints. So general syntax we are going to see. First we have to write create a table command. Create table command write பண்ணிட்டு next we have to write the table name. So ஒரு table நார்மலாக எப்படி create பண்ணுறோமோ அதே format தான், பட் எக்ஸ்ட்ரா நம்ம என்ன பண்ணணும், காலம் கன்ஸ்ட்ரெயின்ட் என்ன அப்படின்றத மென்ஷன் பண்ணணும். ஸோ ஜென்ரல் சின்டெக்ஸ் இங்கே கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. Now we are going to see one example. The same student table we can take. இங்கே பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அட்மிஷன் நம்பர், அதோட டேட்டா டைப் இன்டீஜர், நாட் நல் ப்ரைமரி கீ. ஸோ நாட் நல் அப்படின்னா கண்டிப்பாக அட்மிஷன் நம்பர் டைப் பண்ணணும். அப்படி டைப் பண்ணலைன்னா வேறு டேட்டாவை அது என்டர் பண்ண அலோவ் பண்ணாது. இது என்னன்னு சொல்கிறாங்க, ப்ரைமரி கீ கன்ஸ்ட்ரெயின்ட் அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறாங்க. ப்ரைமரி கீ அப்படின்னா வித் த ஹெல்ப் ஆஃப் த அட்மிஷன் நம்பர், அந்த அட்மிஷன் நம்பரை யூஸ் பண்ணி we can retrieve a particular student record, we can identify a particular student record. So that's why we are applying the primary key in admission number. Next one name, அதோட டேட்டா டைப் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா கேரக்டர், மேக்ஸிமம் சைஸு 20. ஸோ நாட் நல் அப்படின்னா கண்டிப்பாக நம்ம நேம் டைப் பண்ணியே ஆகணும். டைப் பண்ணாமல் விட்டோம் அப்படின்னாக்கா it asks us to type or else it won't permit to enter the rest of the data. இப்போ gender, age, place இதெல்லாம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா optional, whether we can type or we can leave it. Next we are going to see type of constraints. So we have different types of constraints: unique constraint, primary key constraint, default constraint, check constraint. So first we are going to see about the unique constraint. So this constraint ensures that no two rows have the same value in the specified columns. For example, unique constraint applied on admission number of student table ensures that no two students have the same admission number, and the constraint can be used as create a table student admission number not null unique. ஸோ அட்மிஷன் நம்பர் பார்த்திங்கன்னா எல்லா ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்க்கும் சேமாக இருக்காது, ஒவ்வொரு ஸ்டூடெண்ட்க்கும் ஒவ்வொரு அட்மிஷன் நம்பர் தான் இருக்கும். ஸோ வென் வி ஆர் என்டரிங் த அட்மிஷன் நம்பர் sometime maybe we can type the same admission number for 2 or 3 students. So that time with the help of this unique constraint we can avoid that errors. அப்போ என்ன பண்ணோம், ஒரே அட்மிஷன் நம்பரை நம்ம இன்னொரு டைம் டைப் பண்ணும்போது அது அலோவ் பண்ணாது. ஸோ தட்ஸ் வை வி ஆர் யூஸிங் திஸ் யூனிக் கன்ஸ்ட்ரெயின்ட். நாட் நல் அப்படின்னா கண்டிப்பாக நம்ம டைப் பண்ணணும், டைப் பண்ணாமல் அதை விடக்கூடாது. ஸோ தட் இஸ் த நாட் நல் அண்ட் யூனிக் கன்ஸ்ட்ரெயின்ட். நெக்ஸ்ட் வி ஆர் கோயிங் டு சி primary key constraint. So primary key constraint அப்படின்னா this constraint declares a field as a primary key which helps to uniquely identify a record. So with the help of this primary key, already I told, uniquely we can identify a record. இப்போ ஒரு டேபிளில் அட்மிஷன் நம்பர் இருக்குது, நேம் இருக்குது, ஜெண்டர், ஏஜ், பிளேஸ் இருக்குது. ஒரே நேமில் 2-3 பேர் இருக்கலாம், பட் அட்மிஷன் நம்பர்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு அட்மிஷன் நம்பர் ஒரு ஸ்டூடெண்ட்க்கு மட்டும்தான் இருக்கணும். இப்போ எனக்கு பர்டிகுலர் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்டோட ரெக்கார்டு எனக்கு வேணும்னா ஸோ ஐ கேன் யூஸ் த அட்மிஷன் நம்பர் டு ரிசீவ் த பர்டிகுலர் ஸ்டூடெண்ட் ரெக்கார்ட். தட்ஸ் வை ஆல்வேஸ் வி ஆர் மென்ஷன்டு இட் இஸ் எ நாட் null constraint. Next we are going to see default constraint. So default constraint அப்படின்னா sometimes நம்ம values enter பண்ண மாட்டோம். ஸோ என்டர் பண்ணாத போது ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்காக it fill the values. That is the default constraint. You just see the example. Admission number not null primary key, then name, gender character 1, age integer, default is equal to 17. So default constraint அப்படின்னா age integer. So age or data type integer. So if we not type the age, so it assign our age as a 17. So that is the default constraint. Next we are going to see check constraint. Check constraint now, for example some exams, if you see some government exams now, they give the age limit. So age is not more than 30 or 35 like that they given. So when we are filling the form, automatically it calculate our ages with the help of a date of birth. So that time if our age is more than 35 na, it won't allow us to fill the form. So that we can say as a check constraint. So when we are entering the age, so here they given one example, check less than or equal to 19. So when we are entering the age, so it check whether it is a less than or equal to 19. Suppose it's a more than 19 na, it won't permit us to enter the data. The check constraint may use relational and logical operators for conditions. So relational operators na less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, equal to, not equal to. So these operators only we are saying as a relational operators. Logical means and or not. So this also we can use in the check constraint. Next we are going to see about the table constraint. So when table constraint, when the constraint is applied to a group of fields of a table, it is known as a table constraint. So in table constraint we can give the constraint for a more than one fields, but where we have to mention end of the commands only we can mention. You just see here, create a table student 1. So here new table they are taking as a student 1. Here everything they mentioned, the column name, then it's a data type constraint also mentioned at last. Primary key constraint they given here. So this is the table constraint. For 2 columns they given as a primary key, first name and the last name. So if I want to find a record na, with the help of the first name and last name I can identify the record. So this only we are saying as a table constraint. So table constraint நம்ம எங்க மென்ஷன் பண்ணோம்னா end of the comments தான் வந்து நம்ம table constraint mention பண்ணுவோம். That's all students. So in this video you learned about different types of constraints, then how to create a table. So you read once or twice in your book, then write the command yourself and check. You just create a table as on your own. Thank you students.